So we're in the last problem now, and this is a different formula. And we actually, with some manipulation, could show how the formulas are very similar to each other. But this is just a different type of mortgage formula. This one, we are not looking for the monthly payment. That's not what it's equal to. It's equal to the amount that we have borrowed. And the payment or the monthly payment is over here. Another thing to note is that here the interest rate is per month. From everything I've seen, that always matches up with the information you're given. So here it's a monthly percentage rate, whereas usually we have a yearly percentage rate. So we don't have to do anything different in terms of changing time periods or anything, but that's our formula. So here it says, using the formula below, determine the monthly payment on a 5-year car loan with a monthly percentage rate of 0.625% for a car with an original cost of $21,000 and a $1,000 down payment to the nearest cent. So there's a lot of information here. First off, just in terms of doing loans, a down payment means you paid something in the beginning. So even though the original cost is $21,000, I already paid $1,000 of it. So my present amount borrowed, P sub n, is just going to be $20,000. So that just comes from subtracting the down payment from the amount or the cost. We're looking for PMT. So I'm going to plug in an X for that. And then the I, monthly interest rate, I need to still move the decimal 2 places, 0.00625. And then N, here we have a 5-year loan. So 5 times 12 is going to give me 60 monthly payments. So this is not a super hard equation to solve, but we do have to solve an equation now. We're not finding P sub n. That's what we know. We're finding the PMT. So we'll plug into the formula. We have P sub n equals X, which is PMT, what I'm using for PMT, 1 minus 1 plus 0.00625 to the negative n, so negative 60 over 0.00625. Now, when we talk about what we can do and can't do in terms of simplifying, everything in this parentheses is now a number, so I can directly type that in, and I'm going to have that number times x. So if I type it in my calculator, I do get a decimal, along with a continuing decimal, not something I can write down the whole thing, but this comes out to 49.905, and that's times x equals 20,000. So now all I have to do, even though it looked complicated, was divide by the 49.905 or whatever decimal goes along with that. So we're calculating the monthly payment, and that's going to be $400.76. So that's one situation. We know how much we have to borrow, we know the interest rate, we know the time of the loan, and we're calculating how much we have to pay per month. And that's something the bank does for you, but this is the type of formula that's probably programmed into a computer and calculates that for you. Another scenario is how much you can pay per month, and you're trying to figure out how much of a loan you can take out. So let's say you say, I don't have $400 extra a month for this, I only have $300. So that means either I'm going to have to get a less expensive car, right? Or I'm going to have to save up more money in the beginning so I have a bigger down payment. And that's what this question asks. If we can afford $300 only, how much of a down payment will we have to make on this $21,000 car? So we'll write our variables down again. We are looking for P sub n. I'm not going to put an X there because it's by itself. So I'm just going to say question mark. The monthly payment we can afford is $300, and the other variables are still the same. So same interest rate, same 5-year loan, so those things stay the same. So when I start to plug it into the formula, I zoom so I can see both of them. Should be good. So I have P sub n equals PMT times, I should scroll up a little more so I can actually see the formula, 1 minus 1 plus 0.00625 to the negative 60. that's negative 60 right here. I know it's hard to read, over 0.00625. So now everything is a number on this side, so I can type the whole thing in. So I would type all of that in, and I would get that P sub n, the amount that I can afford to borrow is $14,971.59. So this is the amount you can afford to borrow. So given the situation, it's not like we're picking a new car. We still want that $21,000 car. So that means the difference between the $21,000 that the car costs and the amount that I can afford to pay with the $300 monthly payments, which is $6,028 to the nearest dollar. That's how much I'm going to need to save up before as the down payment.